Okay, so first of all, I just want to say thank you for clicking on the video. My name is Orlando Ruiz Jr., and I'm excited to get into this one. The Godfather from 1972, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, based on a book written by a man named Mario Puzo. This is a movie I go back to every now and again. This is a period film. It's a gangster film. For those that don't care for the gangster genre, I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people don't care for the type of violence that usually goes with the territory with these kinds of films. But The Godfather is the movie that anytime there's a crime film, a new mob film, it's the high standard. It's the one they're all measured up to, because it's not just about uh, gunfights and like standoffs or explosions. This is a film that is it's a family story. Tells a story of Coppola. In interviews, the director has often said he's always thought of it as a story of a king and his three sons. Though I don't want to forget the daughter, played by Talia Shire, playing Connie. Uh, Playing Fredo is an actor named John Cazale, I believe, who's great as Fredo. Uh, James Cann as the older brother, Sonny, is, he's the hothead, and Sonny's kind of cool. He's a cool guy, but he's a hothead. And and Tom Hagen is like an adopted brother. He's played by the great Robert Duvall in a great performance in both of the films that he's in, and he's very likable, very sympathetic. Uh, the legendary Al Pacino. Uh, every time he's on the screen, he's always so much fun to watch. And I remember back in the day when I watched this movie, it just made me want to look out for everything else that he was in. So every time he's in something, I try to be there, and it's because of the early movies that I watched of his, this and Dog Day Afternoon, Scarface, and Serpico. But this performance, uh, I love to come back to this movie mainly for the performance. Uh, the character arc that he displays in this film is mesmerizing, and it's captivating every single time, every single rewatch. It never gets old for me. From beginning to end, it's always a treat, because the beginning of the film, he starts out as a different person, that he becomes by the end. Yeah, he starts out as someone that wants nothing to do with the family business. So it's really awesome to see that slow turn, that slow, descent into the darkness that he eventually the dark side eventually, as he has to uh, sort of take charge eventually and uh, join the family at a certain point in the film. So I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to tell you what happens beat for beat. For those of you that haven't seen the film, this review is mainly for you, because there are many people that have seen this movie, but there are many people that haven't, and I consider myself the movie police. That's what my job is, right here, to make sure that I spread the good word, and you find this film, find it on streaming, get a copy of it. But this is a bucket list movie. This is a movie that uh, it's not just a mere gangster movie. There's rich characters. There's a great just a sweeping music score in this film that carries you all throughout the movie. The music alone in this film is just worth the viewing. Um, there are great monologues. There's a great scene in a restaurant with Al Pacino, where upon rewatch, even though someone who has seen this movie, uh, they expect what's going to happen. Uh, the man's just fascinating to see work, and to see his eyes just convey uh, a level of panic and sort of paranoia, and you can see he's getting up to the nerve to do something, and it's great to watch, and just to see him do his thing. And Marlon Brando, Marlon Brando pretty much commands the screen and steals this show every time that he is in the film. Every time he's doing a scene with anybody in this film, your eyes are on him. He's one of the greatest method actors that ever lived, and completely understand why Pacino and like Robert De Niro and many actors carry on that tradition and that style of acting, because when you watch Brando do it, it just didn't seem like the man was saying something that was written from a page. That man seemed like he was just saying whatever was coming out of his mouth, like that was his, like right from the straight, like his own mouth. And not many actors can do that, have that raw, that's just that sense of kind of animal, that primal like realism. And I love him in One-Eyed Jacks and A Streetcar Named Desire, of course, and On the Waterfront. It's I think one of his best performances. Maybe his best besides this one. My humble opinion. But yeah, Brando is almost like mythic in the part of Vito, in the part of Don Vito, and the guy's a legend, like Pacino by now, and like I said, you shouldn't be discouraged to steer clear of this just because it's labeled as a gangster film, though it is. Part of what makes this film so special, I think, is the craftsmanship in this movie is so well done. You watch it and you don't realize that by the time the film is over, though these characters are people you probably wouldn't associate with in real life, because they're like, there's criminals basically. But part of the magic of the film is you kind of become one of the family by the time the movie is over. You feel like one of the Corleones. There's some really touching moments in the film as well, besides suspenseful moments, intense moments. I love the scene with Al Pacino and Brando. Brando is in a hospital, and Pacino is at his bedside, just kind of assuring him that everything will be fine. And you see a tear on Brando's face, and gets me every time. There's so many great moments in this film like that. Don't want to give away anything, any spoilers for those that haven't seen this, so I'm not going to tell you any huge plot points. Just know that it is a very well crafted, more on the realistic side, and kind of, I guess you could say, a romanticized version of the mafia. Yet it does have those moments of them like cooking, just making like the pasta for dinner and stuff. And sometimes it feels like you see, oh, I just kicked my tripod. Sometimes you see like a day in the life type of stuff, a precursor to the stuff that we would later get with the brilliant Goodfellas and, kind of stuff Scorsese would do later on. But this is a movie that everyone who is into movies, cinema period, highly recommend you check this out. Yeah, The Godfather from 1972. It's a 3-hour film, and for a 3-hour film, it flies by like no other because it's so damn entertaining. So I hope you guys check it out. And if you're interested in hearing more about this type of stuff, go ahead and leave a like, and you want to comment, go ahead. You want to subscribe. I'm going to be putting more of these out. And if you want to share, don't mind that at all. Helps the channel, I'm sure. We're still at the beginning stages, and it's just about having fun, pretty much. It's fun for me, and yeah, I'm gonna just keep churning these out for you. So thank you very much, and check out this film. It's a treat just to experience it. And you know, one of the great things about it is, even though the movie gets to the end and it feels like a completely satisfying story, it's so damn good. You kind of wish it would just keep going. You wish there was a little more. And the great thing about that is there's Godfather 2. So yeah, but we won't get to that one till the next video. So thank you very much and have a pleasant evening. Good night. Beep.